Hey, this is Steve from Gold Key. You're listening to Rhino Radio.
So 2003 is Rhino Radio with Gold Key.
Hey, how you doing?
Steve?
Okay, very good, thank you.
Okay, ready for the set?
Of course.
Okay, the lovely weather is shining.
Yeah, we brought the terrible weather with us. I'll try to wear like a colourful shirt to make the sun come out, but it didn't work, so.
Okay, well, it will fit some of the sounds.
Yeah. But we're quite a gloomy band, I guess, so.
Yeah. Should we expect an acoustic sound or the traditional sound, which is not too far off, but...
I mean, to be honest with you, we've got quite a heavier set because we've just finished writing a new record, so yeah, it's probably going to be a bit more energetic than it normally is. Less proggy, more festival music.
Okay.
But it's cool when it rains because when you're in a tent, everyone comes in, right? To get out the rain.
It is good.
Yeah.
So since you've mentioned it, can we get some more information about the upcoming release?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't got a date set for release, but basically we hired a cottage in the beautiful Welsh countryside, and I took a van's worth of studio gear. We set it all up ourselves, and just did it. Like, we recorded most of it live. It was amazing to do because our favourite albums are made that way. So we went in, and in 4 days we did an album, basically. Yeah, in and out.
So we got something to expect?
But style-wise,
Everything.
it's like I said, it's a bit more bandy sounding. I think like our first record was quite experimental. Not to say that this one isn't, but it's definitely more in tune with our heavier rock side.
So you mentioned the experimental, and I think in the past you even referred to yourself as maybe being weird.
Yeah.
Compliment? Is it still a bad word?
It depends how you see it. I mean, my favourite bands in the world are weird, so I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, it's no less experimental at all. It's just like, I think when you make a first record as a band, you're kind of throwing ideas everywhere. And I keep talking about the studio, but because I have a studio, it's so easy to just sit and noodle away and really procrastinate about everything. And this time we did it way more on instinct. So in that sense, it's less weird. It sounds a bit more like a band, this record, I'd say.
And thematically, it deals with fitting in or not fitting in, being alone sometimes. Some of the videos even deal with that.
Yeah, I did all of our songs. I don't know why, but I always gravitate to writing miserable songs. And not miserable. I mean, I guess they're bittersweet. They're not. They're melancholic, I guess. You know, it's about not feeling like you belong, not feeling like you know what the hell you're doing in your life, which I still don't. And yeah, hopefully people can relate to that. That's just how I write. So the songs I write always come out that way. Very negative.
Is fitting in something that we should long for, or is it just more the embracing yourself as one?
It's very hard for anyone to know what they're doing in life. I think you've just got to accept your weirdness sometimes, you know. And that's a lot of what this band is about, to be honest. This is the music we've always wanted to make. You know, we've worked in hardcore bands and metal bands, and you know, it'd be really easy for us to bang out a party hardcore album and go around on tour for months, but that's not what we want to do. Like, this is the music we've always wanted to do but never really had the guts to do it. So yeah, I don't know if that means we're fitting in or fitting in with ourselves. There you go.
And the last single, which is, I'm guessing, a tease for the upcoming album, deals with technology as well affecting us. Is there a pro or just cons?
It's a bit of both. I think, you know, it's about relying on technology and using it all the time and loving it. You know, I love technology and I love social media. I think everybody does, but you do definitely become a slave to it. You know, it's no secret. So it's kind of the relationship between all this cool stuff making us better people, but also making us shit people. You know.
Also being in control.
Absolutely, and not being in control and having it take over your life. It's really easy to look at, especially Instagram and just social media in general, and see snippets of people's lives. But I remember reading once, like, no one takes photos of things they want to forget, right? So when you're looking at other people and their success and you're like having a bad week, it can be really tough.
I guess you don't know a funeral photographer.
But there you go, exactly. And like, and it's tough, and I think it's you know, if you're going for a tough time, if you're a bit weak-minded, it can be really, really shitty, you know, having something in your pocket which is just constantly people being successful or appearing to be. So that's the theme behind that.
That's where music comes in.
That's where music,
Okay.
yeah.
And you guys are all dealing with other projects. Is it making life more easy or more difficult dividing?
I mean, it's always tricky. We're from a group of friends. We've grown up together and played in a scene in Watford, and you know, gone and often done really good things. Some bands are established and, you know, not quite as busy as they used to be now. Some bands that we do are new and exciting, and it's, yeah, of course, there's people, you know, Jack, our drummer, plays in Nervous, who played earlier today, and they're another new great band. So yeah, fitting it all around each other can be tricky, but we're gung-ho with this, you know. We've barely been together a couple of years and we've got 2 albums, so we're trying to knuckle down and, you know, keep going and just bring it all together. But it can be tricky, yeah. It can be tricky.
Okay. And most of the band members grew up in Watford?
Yeah, all of us, pretty much. Yeah.
And
so
I heard some bad things from the band about Watford. Some weird memories.
I have weird memories as such.
There.
It's a funny town. Like, I would never badmouth Watford. You know, like having gone around lots of different sort of towns that are just outside a big city like London. It's cool. Like, I think the reason we are who we are is because of Watford, and because we were always outsiders. We weren't really part of the London scene, but then only down the road. So I think when we started, our band started doing okay when we were a bit younger. We'd sort of come into London and people would be like, who the fuck are these guys, you know? So there was a bit of that. But what you know, Watford's like any town, has its ups and downs.
Okay, so there's a rumor online, and I want to hear from you if it's true or not.
Okay.
That you guys are trying to relocate Watford even further away from London so it can be its own scene.
That's the first time I've heard that.
So it's false.
Yeah, I don't know where that's
Watford
come from.
stays geographically in its place.
Well, the spirit of Watford lives on, let's put it that way.
Okay. And
is your phone okay? It's getting very wet.
No, it's okay. It's just
2018. They're waterproof now, aren't they? Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll know later. Is the future of the band being more political, or maybe the kind of more, not the traditional definition of political, but more activism, making people think?
Possibly. I mean, the relationship I've always had with music that I listen to is that if there is something to say, it's always very valid, and I listen to it. And however, I don't really see myself as a mouthpiece for anything. You know, I don't think I'm an authority on anything, and I would definitely prefer that people listen to music and take away what they want from it. You know, I don't feel like having an agenda is for me. I think a lot of bands it works for, and there's bands that fight for trans rights, and there's bands that fight for certain political views, and I think that's great. Me personally, I don't know. I prefer being more ambiguous, you know?
Okay. Anything else you want to add to fans and listeners out there?
So we're going out on tour with Black Peaks in October. We haven't got a set date for our album, but it should be around then. We're definitely going to have a new couple of singles coming out. So yeah, it's going to be Black Peaks and Bosk, who are 2 amazing UK bands. And we can't wait to see you all.
You're not joining them in Europe, just the UK?
Just the UK dates, yeah. So it's cool. We'll stay home, have a cup of tea on the days off.
Okay. Steve Golkey, thank you very much.
Thank you.